Well, to give us more insight on the matter, I'm being joined on the program tonight by the deputy governorship candidate, the PDP deputy governorship candidate in Ondo State, Ebenezer Alabi. He's in Akure, and also will be joined by the publicity secretary of the PDP Ondo State chapter, Banji Okwomo, who'll join us as the program progresses. Many thanks for joining us on the program, Mr. Alabi. Mr. Alabi, who is the authentic candidate?
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for joining us. Who is the authentic candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Ondo State, and why?
Well, thank you very much. INEC has spoken, and the authentic candidate of PDP in Ondo State is Barrister Jimoh Ibrahim.
But some members of the party say Mr. Ibrahim did not take part.
The reason is not far-fetched.
Just a moment, Mr. Alabi. Just a moment. Some members of the party in the state disagree with that position. They say Mr. Ibrahim did not go through due process to emerge as the flag bearer for the PDP for the November 2016 election.
Yeah, thank you very much for this question. Those who are saying this one are ignorant of the basic issues that are involved in this scenario. I was the state chairman of PDP prior to the coming of Dr. Mimiko to PDP. Before then, PDP was cohesive, was united under my chairmanship. But when Governor Mimiko decided to join the party, he had no dialogue with us at state level. He went straight to the national and demanded for the dissolution of the state executive. That one did not go down with a lot of our members in Ondo State. And when eventually pressure was mounted on some of us, especially with the involvement of the former president of Nigeria, President Jonathan, some of us eventually decided to resign. But for the majority of the exco that were left behind, all they did was to invoke the provision of the constitution of the party, and which says that when there is resignation, the executive committee at that level has the right to fill those vacancies until there will be Congress. So those that were left who did not resign, and the local government chairman in the state met and invoked that provision and elected Dr. Olu Ogunye and some people to fill the vacancies created by our resignation.
Okay.
And they now went to court. They now filed a process before Justice Adeni Ademola, who restrained the nominee of Dr. Mimiko from parading himself as the chairman of the party in the state. And eventually, when the case was decided, it was decided in favor of Dr. Olu Ogunye. So since then, there have been two parallel executive structures in Ondo State, at state level, at local government level, at ward level. So this is what metamorphosed into the congresses for the election of new officers. While the caretaker committee put in place under Engineer Faboyede conducted their own congress and elected Faboyede and others, that of Dr. Ogunye conducted their own congress and elected Prince Oroyebi as their own state chairman.
Okay, just a moment, Mr. Alabi. Let me come in here, if I may come in here. The primary that produced Jimoh Ibrahim as the flag bearer for your faction, the Alimadu Sheriff faction of the PDP in Ondo State, did not take place in Akure. It took place in Ibadan. What does your party constitution, what provisions are available in your party constitution for location of primary and emergence of a candidate? Please just hold that thought. You'll answer that question when we come back after this timeout. Stay with us. Welcome back to Sunday Politics. The Ondo PDP impasse is what we are talking about. Join the conversation via our social media handles. Mr. Ebenezer Alabi, the primary election that produced Jimoh Ibrahim took place in Ibadan, as against the one which was supervised by INEC, which took place in Akure and produced Eitayo Jegede. Doesn't that put in question the authenticity of Jimoh Ibrahim's emergence as a flag bearer of the party?
Well, thank you very much. The concern of our party did not specify where election of the governorship should take place. The constitution is only specific that the senatorial election will hold at the senatorial headquarters, the House of Rep will hold at the constituency headquarters, and the House of Assembly will hold at the constituency headquarters. And let me tell you that the current governor of Taraba State, the primary election that brought him in was held in Abuja. The primary election for Yobe, for Borno State, for Adamawa State were all held in Abuja in 2014. So there is no contravention of any law if we take our own primaries to the next headquarters, which is Ibadan, which happen to be the zonal headquarters of our party. And let me tell you that INEC was relating entirely with wrong executive. And that is why we are blaming INEC for this scenario. In the first case, when Poroye emerged from that fashion which I've earlier said, they now went to court to enforce the judgment of Justice Adeniyi Ademola. And that was what was brought before Justice Abank. And Justice Abank looked at the case and he affirmed Poroye as the authentic chairman of the party in the state.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Alabi. Just a moment. I need to bring in the other faction now. I need to bring in Banji Okwomo. He's the publicity secretary, Ondo State PDP, is here representing the Mimiko faction of the party, the Ahmed Makafi faction of the PDP.